How should I handle my problems? Good morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, the 27th of September 2020. My name is Reverend David Ibiayo, and these are my thoughts. I don't know how you are feeling as you are listening to this podcast, but if it so happens you are downcast or feeling low, I hope that by the time you have finished listening to this podcast, that your spirit is revived. There is something you should know. Your problems are not independent of you. They are part of you. It is natural to be troubled by one's problem. Problems often tend to ground you down, but you have to have hope beyond your present situation. How can one have hope in the face of their problems? It's all down to your mindset. It is not possible to have hope if you believe your problem can't be resolved. But if you believe your problem can be addressed and managed, with time, hope will spring up in you. Your frame of mind needs to be sincere. You should not refuse to believe that you have the problem. Don't be in denial. Once you accept the problem you find yourself in, then you can address it. Your problem is a challenge, but not all challenges are problems. So, it is important to see the problem as a problem, even though it can also pass as a challenge. Problems can be overwhelming, and the first thing you need to do is ensure that you don't panic. If you panic, you will seek answers in the wrong places. One thing you need to take note of is that even though people are able to tell you about your problem, it does not necessarily follow that they can solve it. When people are faced with problems, they become very vulnerable. All they dream of is a solution to their problem, and they are ready to listen to anyone who claims to have a solution. As a result of this, many people are falling for people giving them false hopes and solutions with a cost. It has cost them financially and emotionally for putting their hopes in false solutions. The cry of many people today is, I want a solution to my problem. Some people are going everywhere and anywhere for a solution, and it is so sad to see people being taken advantage of. Some churches and pastors are on the list of those taking advantage of people. And of course, they are not the only ones. But is it not a shame that some churches and pastors can make it to the list of those taking advantage of others? Aren't churches and pastors called to be blameless? No wonder we read the following in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 17. For it is time for judgment to begin with the family of God. And if it begins with us, what will the outcome be for those who do not obey the gospel of God? I pray for you that if you do have a problem, that you don't fall for people who claim to have a solution, but have an intention of taking advantage of you. Problems come to people now and again. So, what then do I recommend? Two things. People need to take practical steps in addressing their problems and at the same time look for divine intervention. The psalmist said in Psalm 121 verses 1 and 2, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The mind is always hungry for assurance in the face of problems, and Jesus Christ is giving it to us. He said in Matthew chapter 11 verse 28, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I implore you not to give up and do nothing, but do commit your request to the Lord in prayer, and he will meet you at your point of need. The psalmist said in Psalm 34 verse 18, The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And I'll pray for you that your spirit may be revived today and always. Take care, keep safe, and remain blessed. Amen.